Hello again, this is Mr. Everything, and I'm coming back at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're going to continue on with our What's in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we're going to look at what's in the bag. Okay, we're going to take a look at some Old Glory 15s. I've got two packages here. I've got the FML2 and the FML3, which is the French Lancers, and this is French Lancers. These are not Guard Lancers. These are your regular line Lancers. Now, we're going to compare the figures, and we're also going to look at the difference between 2 and 3. All right, now these packages should come with 16 models. Now I'm going to put FML3 off to the side just a little bit, just to keep it out of the way while we look at FML2. Okay. Now these are Old Glory 15s, and I don't know if you've ever worked with the Old Glory French cavalry, but almost all of them, I've noticed they have like a generic horse that is universal to all their packages, which I can appreciate because a horse is a horse is a horse, of course. We've got our 16 horses. Now, one thing that they will do is they'll have the bit and bridle and reins on the horse, plus they'll have like a strap that goes under the belly and through the haunches there, and then another strap that usually comes back and ties onto the tail. That would normally hold a saddle in place. Now they don't put the saddle on the horse, they put the saddle attached to the rider's legs, and depending on what kind of troop you have, the saddle might be different. It might have a different type of blanket or what have you, and so when you put it on the horse, you know, you'll be able, basically makes the horses interchangeable. Okay, now it looks like, I was going to say this is a standard bearer, but it's not. It's a lancer with a pennant modeled into the spear. Okay, so there are two standards as well as two officers with swords and two buglers for your command element. So you could technically make 2 squadrons of 8 figures if you wanted to do that, or you could use just one of each of these, right? 1 bugler, 1 officer, 1 standard bearer, and then that would take 3 of these guys off, right? And then you could go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I could take another one of these lancers out of the picture, and I could make a 12-man unit, or I could make 2 8-man units. It's just however you would like to do it. Okay, there is quite a bit of mold release on these, so you will need to wash them. Okay, there are a number of horse poses, but don't, based on what I have in this bag, don't base that on your bag, because I think it's randomized. I don't think they always put the exact same horses in every bag. You know, it could be any horses. So what I'm kind of doing is just taking a look at what kind of different horses you're actually getting in here. Okay, so each one of these rows is a different uh, pose for your horses. Some horses have their heads down, some have them up, some have them canted to the left, some looks like he's got his head actually raised, like he's canting, but it looks like he's running. This one has his left foreleg cocked, and then this one has his right foreleg cocked. So yeah, it's just a variety of different poses, and you can kind of see differences in their bases as well. Now these figures will come a lot of times with a big burr on the bottom of their base, and those will need to be either cut off with an X-Acto knife. What I tend to do is cut off the majority of it with an X-Acto knife, but then I'll take a file to file it down so that these horses will stand up. Okay, that's beautiful. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at these, evaluate them, and then what we'll do is we'll zoom in and get kind of a good look to see what they actually look like up close. Just kind of looking around. Most of these guys, and these guys all have the Line Lancer helmets. Now this guy's got a plume on his helmet, a side plume, not the center raised, what do they call that? The horsehair portion of the helmet. But these two have a plume out of the side of the helmet. And this guy is unique in the fact that his head is turned 90 degrees to the left. Okay, so I would have to see what makes him special other than his pose. I guess that's it, just his pose. Okay, so that's a unique pose. The rest of these all are kind of just, standing, or I should say sitting, looking forward with their spears upright. Now these two have epaulets as well, so this must be part of the elite company. That's what I'm thinking, and that's how I base them. I base them 2 figures per base, as you can see with my chasseurs right here. 2 figures per base works really well when I'm looking at organizing my miniatures. With 2 grenadiers or elite companies, I'll be able to put those 2 on a single base. The standard bearers are different. One standard bearer is looking to the left, one standard bearer is looking catty corner to the right. Okay. But generally speaking, they're pretty much the same. And the musicians look the same. And the officers look the same. Okay. Okay, just a quick glance at these horses, just so you can see what I'm talking about. And you can see the strap under the belly and the reins. And all the horses are going to, even though they're in a different pose, they're going to kind of have the same effect. And then there's that burr you would have to cut off the bottom. I'm just going to grab another couple of them, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That's got a long tail, doesn't he? Okay. This is the Lancer that's looking sharply to his side. You can see the stitching on his lapel. See, he's kind of looking behind him. And you can see on the lance how it's already got the pennant worked in. You just got to paint it in. Okay, I was going to show you, but it just fell off. But I was going to show you that there is a little bit of flash and stuff like that. You just got to take your knife to it. But there's your standard bearer with the eagle, and you can see the plume on the side of his helmet there. His gloves, sword, his bedroll, and you can see he's got the saberdash style horse cover. That's the standard bearer. A musician, you can see on his bugle, he's got like a little pennant hanging off of it, right? And if you look closely at the uniform, it's got like slashes on the arms and whatnot, so that you could paint those up, because they would, the musicians would have this fancy uniform. Now on this video, you're seeing a lot of, it looks like imperfections, when in reality that's mostly mold release. So once you wash that off with some soap and water, the details will actually shine a little bit better. Plus when you prime it and you paint it and everything, it'll look really good. This would be the officer with a sword. Okay, and let's just show you one or two of these lancers, even though I think they're pretty much the same. My fingers are getting in the way. There we go. All right, so that was FML 2. I'm going to try to keep those right there. Now let's look at FML 3. Also should be 16. Okay. These lances are separate arms. There's a big difference here. These lances are separate arms that you have to glue together. And this musician has it up. Okay, let's count horses. Now this horse is not in that pack. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Now again, the horses are interchangeable between packs. These horses look like they might have come out of a newer mold, because they seem to be crisper, if that's a word. They seem to have less imperfections. Okay, I thought that was flash, but actually it's a lance. Get those. I mean, you can see there's flash on this horse. There's flash on almost all the horses. You just have to go through and clean them up. Okay, what I'm doing here is making sure everything's on the up and up. That guy's got a ton of flash on that horse. Okay, so there's my 16 horses. We got a musician. We got an officer with his sword raised. 2 of them, 2 standard bearers, 2 musicians, and then these guys don't have arms. Okay, he's looking down. Oh, and he's got he's got his bedroll / greatcoat like wrapped around his shoulder. This one doesn't. This guy does as well, but he's looking forward and not down. Okay, so we got some bedrolls on these guys. Okay, he's looking down. So these 2. So just separating them like this. This looks like the organization. These 6 or 8 or whatever, 7. These 7 all have these thick bedrolls. These 2 have plumes on the side of their helmets and epaulets. So I would think that these 2 would be the elites. And these guys also are looking straight forward. These guys are all looking down at the mane of the horse. Also, they might be looking down for where the lance is pointing. If you want to lower your lance, you know, if the lance is down and they're going for the charge, he would be looking down. These guys are kind of leaning a little bit to the right and also looking down at the lance. Just no bedrolls. Officers, elites, standards, musicians. Okay, so if I was to count all these, okay, now 2 of these need to have lances with epaulets. There needs to be special lances, unless actually you don't. Taking a closer look at the right arm, if there was an epaulet there, it was going to be covered by that bedroll. So you could use any of these. Okay, that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. I only have 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then these 2. There's nothing in the bag. Nothing over there. Did I miscount? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, missing 2 arms. Okay, knowing that I want to do 10, also you could mix and match with the other lancers as well. If you want to have like your back rank with them up, use some of these, and if you want your front rank with them down, use these, because that's what the difference looks like between the FML2 and the FML3 is the positioning of their lance. And these guys have a lot of bedrolls, and those guys didn't. Okay, so if I was to organize into a 12-man unit, I would definitely go 1, 2, 3, right? And then leave those guys off. Definitely use these 2 because the elites, the plume, and the epaulets. And then hypothetically, let's make sure I only use 10 because that's all I got over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, this comes with 18 torsos. So it actually comes with too many torsos. Not that it's short on lances, but it came with extra bodies. Okay. So it wasn't an undercount on spears, it was an overcount on these guys. So what that's telling me is if I wanted more, if I want more overcoats or over whatever, I could use them. Right? And then, yeah, so like almost everybody's got a bedroll. That's really cool. But I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a mix and match, just so that there's a variety in poses. Like both units will have guys with spears down, and both guys will have with spears up, to make it more. Wait a second. Okay. I'm trying to look at these helmets to do a comparison. No, the helmets are the same. That guy's got a big bag on his back. This guy doesn't. I wonder if they all have that. No, he doesn't have it. He does. Oh, he does. He's got it on the right side. Okay, so this group has on their models, on their Lancers, they've got this large extra bag, this haversack type bag, and it's big and bulky and thick, like it's got a lot of bread in it. Yeah, he's got a big one too. Okay, what about the drummer? The drummer. Yep. Okay, he doesn't, but that's okay. And of course the officer wouldn't. Yeah, and the officers have the saddle blanket, where everyone else has just got their little sabretache, their wool skin, sheepskin, whatever that is. Okay, let's adjust the camera, take a close look, and you can see for yourself. Here's a horse that's galloping. I made sure to grab one with a lot of flash on it, just so you can kind of see that I'm not going crazy. There is a lot of flash, but that comes off real easy. That's not a problem. Okay, let's take a close look at the mold itself. And a lot of these are galloping. So Lancers charging, chasing Ponsonby down. Yeah, this was a pose that was not in the other bag. It's a nice large horse. Okay. The spears or lances, they have a couple of different poses, and what I mean by that is the arms. Like you can see, that's like almost an L shape, the way he's holding it. And then this one's a lot sharper, right? And then you got one where it's almost straight out. Like this guy would definitely have a lowered lance. Okay, so you got those. And then standard bearer, right? Got a sword there. Musician, he's blowing it, but you also don't see the drape off the bugle. Do 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 do. Okay, and you can see there's let's see if you can see this. There's a bag in addition to his cartridge box. Okay, I'll point that out in some of the standard lancers when we bring them up. But here's the officer with his sword up. Okay, now grab an elite. Part of the elites were the way you got that plume on the side of the head. You got that epaulet right there. But you can't see an epaulet on the other side because of the way the blanket goes over. And if you look at the back side, like this guy's got a huge bag on his right side. And this is one of those guys that's looking down. Like I was saying, they were looking down. Looks like his face is in the blanket almost. And you can see he's got his bag on the left side. Got his ammo cartridge right there, but then he's got a bag right there. And that's not the blanket. All right, this is one where his head is just canted down to the right. All right, guys, so we got our Lancers, the FML3, which would be the charging, and then FML2, which looks like they would be standing, like they're ready. If I was to design a 12-man unit like these chasseurs right here, which are I'm waiting to finish, I might make these two front units with their lances low, and then the rest of these guys in the back with their lances upright. Or I might do a 50-50, I don't know. I might make some of these with their lances low too, as well, just because of the figure count. Because you got 6 in the back, and then maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 with lances in the front. So we're looking at really a total of 9 Lancers, because you're going to have a standard bearer, a musician, and your officer. So with the 9, and it comes with 10. So if I was to split it and go with like 5 and 5 for my 2 units, right? I wouldn't be able to do, I could do 3 in the front, no problem. And then 3 in the front, no problem. But then it's going to leave me with 2 additional lowered Lancers. And I wonder if I could fill all 6 in the back with the guys with their lances upright. If that's possible, that's the way I'm going to do it. I'll have to do the math and figure that out. But either way, I've got 2 packages. Each pack comes with 16 Lancers. So if you do like Napoleon's Battles, and Napoleon's Battles mounts a base like this with 4 figures, right? If that's the way you do it, you would have a 4 stand unit in each bag, because you would get 1, 2, 3, and a 4th. So that's good, because Napoleon's Battles, their cavalry goes from either 3 stands to 4 stands, which is kind of their normal, to 5 stands, which is a very large unit. And what I used to do is I would make 16 figure Napoleon's Battles units, and then whenever I needed a 3 figure unit, you would just pull a stand off, and then you would have your 3 stand brigade. And then when you needed a 5 stand brigade, you would just take your leftovers or any other stands that you've got available from any of your other units that maybe you're not deploying, and just use it as a filler, just put it in there. But with these, you can do, and that way you could do even 5 if you need to do 5. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and watching this What's in the Box. Be sure to stay tuned for more What's in the Box. And if you like this channel, please like this video and subscribe. And be sure to hit the notification icon so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. All right, I'll see you in the next video.